I watched Jeff Nippard's video on the only exercises you need, and I realized something. I was already doing most of them, but I still wasn't getting the results I expected. Same exercises, different results. So instead of changing everything, I decided to compare Jeff's version versus my version. And what I found completely changed how I train. Because it turns out it's not about doing the best exercises. It's about doing the right way for you. You might already be doing the best exercises and still getting average results.
Top 10 exercises are the 10 exercises I think you should do if you can only do 10.
Seated leg curls. Now, my gym doesn't have this machine, so I do the lying version instead. But here's the problem I faced. Whenever I tried to go heavy, my lower back started getting involved. And that's when I knew something was off. Hamstring exercise shouldn't feel like a lower back workout. So I dropped the weight and focused on control. Now I keep hips pressed down, slow reps, full squeeze at the top. If you go too heavy here, your body starts cheating and your lower back takes over. Moderate weight, proper control. That's what actually builds hamstring. If your lower back hurts, it's not strength, it's bad execution. Next, leg extensions. And honestly, this is the only machine that's always empty. Because, yeah, everyone hates leg day. But I never skip this. Every leg day, I make sure I do leg extensions. This is one of the best exercises to isolate your quads. I focus on full extension, slow control, proper squeeze at the top. Most people just rush through this. No control, no tension. Instead, I slow it down and hold the squeeze. If you want better legs, stop skipping what everyone avoids. Empty machine, full gain. Next, overhead cable triceps extension. I actually avoided this exercise in the beginning because setting it up felt like a workout itself. Getting into position was awkward, and honestly, I felt like I might mess it up. Then I saw a simple fix. Instead of setting the cable low, I set it higher, and suddenly, setup became easier. Movement felt smoother and way safer. Now I focus on keeping elbows stable, full stretch behind the head, controlled extension. This exercise targets mainly the long head of the triceps, which most people miss. Sometimes it's not the exercise that's difficult, it's just the setup you don't understand yet. One small adjustment made a big difference. Next, preacher curl. Sometimes I do this on the machine, and sometimes I switch to cables. Both feel different. Machines give more stability, cables give constant tension. And honestly, the constant tension on cables feels insane on the biceps. No matter which one I use, I focus on full stretch at the bottom, controlled reps, no swinging. Most people rush this and use momentum, but that kills the tension. Machine or cable, doesn't matter. If your form is right, both work. Don't get stuck on equipment. Focus on execution. Next, lateral raises. When I have time, I do them on cables. And when I'm in a hurry, I switch to dumbbells. Because cables give constant tension, but dumbbells are faster and more practical. With cables, your shoulders stay under tension the whole time. With dumbbells, tension drops at the bottom. but you can still make them work. The key is lightweight, controlled reps, no swinging. Most people turn this into a full body movement and lose all shoulder tension. Cable or dumbbell. It's not about the tool, it's about the control. If you have time, go cables. If you don't, just don't skip. Next, chest supported T bar row. My gym actually has a T bar row machine, but it's not chest supported. And without support, I feel my back getting involved when I go heavy. So I used to avoid it completely. I use an inclined bench for chest support and do one arm cable rows. This way, my back stays stable, no lower back strain, better focus on lats. Chest support removes momentum, so your back does all the work. I focus on pulling with elbow, full stretch, controlled squeeze. No perfect machine, make your own setup. Your gym limits don't define your progress. Next, Romanian deadlift. But instead of this, I do normal deadlifts. I never really focused on RDL because I prefer lifting heavier and training more muscles together. Deadlifts work hamstrings, glutes, back, even grip strength. RDL is more focused on hamstrings. Deadlift is more of a full body movement. And for me, deadlifts just fit better into my training. I just make sure back stays neutral, bar stays close, controlled movement. Different exercise, same goal, getting stronger. There's more than one way to build muscle. Next, incline dumbbell press. This is one of the best exercises for upper chest. I actually tried going heavy on this. I pushed 27.5 kilo, but my shoulder didn't like it. And that's when I realized heavy isn't always better. Now I use 25 or even 22.5 kilo and I focus on control, full stretch, proper angle. On incline, your shoulders are already involved. So if your form isn't perfect, they take over. Dropping the weight didn't reduce my gains. I actually improved them. Your ego wants heavier weights. Your body wants better form. I chose better execution over ego lifting. Next, pull ups. Before, I used to treat this as a warm up, just 2 to 3 reps and move on. Then I realized something. This is not a warm up exercise. You are literally pulling your entire body weight. For me, that's around 70 kilos. So instead of rushing into it, I started warming up properly first. Now I do pull ups in proper sets, controlled reps, full range, focus on back. When you treat it seriously, it becomes one of the best back builders. If you are skipping warm up for pull ups, you are already making it harder. Respect the movement and it will build you. Next, squats. Now, ideally, barbell squats are the standard. But in my gym, setting up a barbell is honestly a hassle. No proper space, racking and unracking takes time, and it drains energy before the set even starts. So I prefer using the Smith machine. It's quicker, easier to set up, and feels safer. And because of that, I can focus more on depth, control, pushing close to failure. Barbell squats are greater for overall strength, but Smith machine lets me train with more confidence, especially alone. I just make sure I go deep, keep control, and don't rush reps. Perfect setup doesn't matter. Effective training does. Safe and consistent beats perfect and inconsistent. So, yeah, those were the exercises. Some I followed, some I modified, and some I replaced. And while going through all this, I was actually reading The Muscle Ladder by Jeff Nippard himself. And he talks about the things that really stood out to me: sustainability and mindset. Sustainability means, can you keep doing this long term? Because the best plan is useless if you can't stick to it. And mindset is how you approach your training. Not chasing perfection, but focusing on progress. That's exactly what I've been doing. Adjusting exercises based on my gym and my setup and what I can stay consistent with. Because progress doesn't come from perfect workouts, it comes from sustainable ones. Train smart with what you have. If you are figuring out things like this, you're not alone. Keep going. Focus on what you can sustain, and results will follow. Thank you